Buonasera a tutti. Always the faithful, always there in the comments. We're going to start soon, guys. Today is just going to be nice and relaxed. A week after Campione d'Italia, a bit of some headlines, a bit of looking at the tears that have been going through the Twitter and calcio world. And Stevie P saying, yeah, maybe a mini vacation. We'll let you know what we have in store. But other than that, siamo pronti, signore Polillo.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You are listening to the Milan Weekly Podcast, the English voice of Radio Rossonera and Milan fans all over the world.
Rafael Leao produces a moment of utter magic.
Che sì, ed è gol!
Teo Hernandez al volo! Teo Hernandez, ancora lui, una meraviglia! Ibrahimovic! Zlatan Ibrahimovic, fuori classe assoluto!
Cari amici sportivi, welcome yet to another edition of the Milan Weekly Podcast, episode 240 to be exact, where we talk everything Milan, champions of Italy, Milan, new beginnings, Milan, and, faithfully every single Monday, Stevie P, Vinny T, we got the guys in the comments, and Steve, I just saw a message saying, I'm looking forward, I think it was Liban, you looking forward for Sonny's new graphics and videos. Yusuf, do you have any idea how much this guy is getting worked by Presidente? This guy has no time off. He's got to go to work 9 to 5. He's got to do all these videos. But yes, it's coming. We will be doing some new content. Stevie P, how's your week been? I spoke to the guys yesterday on Patreon.
Ragazzi, ciao Ale, come stai?
Ciao Presidente, il vero Presidente, come stai te? Tutto bene?
Tutto bene, grazie.
The voice of the president and the TM saying, smile, Steve, we are champions now. But how about your week? Have you been keeping on introducing yourself as Stevie Campione d'Italia?
Yeah, still introducing myself as Campione d'Italia. Yeah, TMR, I will smile. The thing is that I just managed to get my kids out of the pool to make it on time for Milan Weekly Podcast, so I wasn't going to be late. I'm just trying to gather myself.
There. On that note, before I share a text message I shared with a fellow friend, guys, I wanted to take the time to say thanks. Whether it be from the people giving us comments for the last week, the Patreon, giving us these Zvanko on Facebook, all these, like, it's truly humbling saying, like, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. And, whether it be yesterday, the Patreon, like, Gio and Fabio saying, you guys inspired us to do something like this. Even Timmy, the comments that we're reading on YouTube, all the views, it's really, really humbling. Still has a chlorine in his eyes.
Salt water, Fuji's and Funya, and that's the key. Salt water pool.
But yeah, on that note, guys, a huge thanks. Honestly, it's very humbling. Even going to 2,000 views 2 weeks ago, 1.4 last week. Our group therapy sessions are getting, those 300 to 500 views. And Steve, welcome to Renee Cumberbatch, which you have discovered that it is Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is part of Patreon. But
that blew my mind. I was, wow, like, what's going on?
But no, on that note, guys, seriously, thanks. It's really from the bottom of our hearts. It's been a while we've been doing this. This is only 240 from Milan Weekly Podcast, but we were at this years ago. But how do you feel when you look at all these comments or people from around the world? It's
amazing. It's funny how I was talking about it just today with one of my friends. With the Fazzy tees, your custom tees. Get your custom tees from Fazzy Tees. I was just telling about certain things that happened in Montreal radio this week which doesn't need to be discussed on the show. But we were just saying how much things like that have changed, right? Even radio has changed. It's not the same thing. It's radio back in the day was you listen to the radio. That's about it. Maybe you can call in. Maybe you were old enough to remember when you can text in, but now it's a whole new thing, right? It's a whole new avenue and stream of content that people provide, and that's what we do it for. And I enjoy all the comments on YouTube. I try to reply to them all. Even when they're making fun of me, and then in the end, when I'm right, that's the glory, right? So, to all the people that we've had great conversations with, and continue to have great conversations with, that's exactly what we do it for. For the people who are just want to troll, you can continue to troll. We won't care. We'll just continue doing what we do. But again, the Patreon is something special, something that people are donating, are providing us some additional funds to do the things that we do, the StreamYard, the mics, the ring light that you see to make me look even more fantastic, and upgrades to the podcast that we want to make things better for you guys. And hopefully in the future, for next year, more and more good things that and ideas that we have that we can push through with your help. So thank you, everybody.
Really, thank you. And we're going to continue giving you the best what we can provide to you.
Yeah, and exactly, before we go on there, and another thing, imagine a small niche podcast like Milan Weekly Podcast attracted the attention of different sponsors and different people that wanted to collaborate with us. We're going to say the Clipper because they're no longer with us at the beginning of the year. We have continued support by Evangelista Sport, the guys at Milan Post, the posting stuff, helping us do giveaways. Man-made guys, man-made boxers. Everybody thinks it's important for a podcast. It's very it's something that is very humbling to us, because we are a niche. We are something that we want to support local, and Man-Made was something that was very special for us, especially because one of our members, this is his son's company, along with his 4 best friends. They did what they needed to do to get this off the ground, and we're proud of the people like this, especially when it has a Milan connection. So amazing underwears, amazing socks. We can go on and on about that, but if you do make a Man-Made order,
link is in the bio. Yeah,
please put MWP in the comment. MWP referred in the comments, and they're gonna sprinkle some love for you guys. So you see, this is the special stuff that we were able to accomplish this year, and we wanna have more. Right? It would be nice. It would be nice to get some sort of let's say app on board as a sponsor, or I know it's a little bit of a touchy subject. It's not for everybody. But I think, betting on live sports is something that's pretty cool. That would be a cool sponsor to have as well. So we're looking at different things for next year.
Definitely. Thanks to Tim, to Dino, buying. Yeah, they are fantastic. And Dino says, guys, make my Mondays. There's no Milanese in Edmonton. It just brings me, I'm sure there is, Dino. And on the side,
there's Connor McDavid, Dino. You guys have Connor McDavid.
On that note, we got a group going from the last podcast, and getting a story from a Milan Club Cleveland, being able to, being a small part of, bringing everybody together, communicating, and a Milan Club Cleveland is being created, and
that's from the group, and we also added Milan. Someone reached out to us, Milan Club North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. It's just there's nobody, guys. It starts small. Right. In the end, in Edmonton, I'm sure, Dino, I'm sure you got a couple of Milanistas over there. But again, a little thing that, this, whether it be social media, whether it be this podcast, bringing everybody together. And, it's fun to say that, whether it be Maurizio, Franco, David, or even Mark, it's like we feel like we're all brothers. And Mark, great job on that logo for Milan Club Cleveland. Very, very nice. Steve, speaking of great conversations, I had a little idea today, and I said, let me reach out to our friend Francis, the Interista, the Garden Snake. And guys, Francis was one of the first, was part of Red Card Weekly, and is a Patreon member, does support us every month. And so I just shot him a text. You should be a special guest tonight. It's low, Steve.
I know. I don't know why.
He replies back, I'm still seeing my therapist about this. Not a good idea for my blood pressure. I really took this one badly. My heart burns. I go, I know, Steve tells me, come my air your grievances. He goes, first I was told to hug all my Milanisti friends, which I started. And I go, then what happened? One step at a time. Carlos Tardelli, Steve, Frank Lipari, Steph Gattuso. He goes, you are next with your cousin. And he goes, but not Jan. Jan, I'm not hugging. I guess he's from the tweets, and but not never. Then he replies, I'm fucking around. He goes, no, but I would actually hug him. But Francis, let's get you on when you've digested this scudetto loss. But I wanted to share that Francis will still love you, even though you're a snake. I know you talked to him a bit more, but he's really taking a bad. Is he okay? Like, how's he been feeling? And
he's absolutely not okay. He's absolutely not okay. Yesterday he was okay for a bit, and then he started with the tears, all the regular stuff. It's bigger than him. But I was really worried. Like right after was like radio silence. He didn't want to talk. He wanted to just smash everything, but it's tough. You gotta commend. At least he's coming around. He's coming back to normal. He did say that he wasn't gonna watch Serie A for the next 5 years if Milan won the title. He also lost 2 lunches to Carlos Tardelli, who was nice enough to donate one of the lunches to me. So it's gonna cost him a pretty penny for this lunch. That's for sure.
Yes, on a side note, happy Memorial Day to all our American viewers. I know they got the long weekend. We had it last week. Thanks for the reminder, Tim. On that, I just wanted to say congratulations to Monza, which right now, Steve, they're going for the Scudetto in the Champions League. I don't know if you heard Berlusconi. Monza, first time in 110 years. Congratulations to them. I'm sure our Presidente called Silvio, probably gave him some congratulations there. But a nice story, Steve, after 110 years. But I don't think a Monza is going to be, then again, we've seen Salernitana, but a nice little story, right?
Look, it's nice entertainment-wise to have Silvio and Il Condor back. It's going to be a little bit bittersweet the first time Monza plays Milan. But again, Silvio wanted to get back into soccer and took on this project. And it didn't take him too long, guys, to get back to Serie A. So that's pretty fast. It's good for the people of Monza. And, he's someone who's passionate. The game has pretty well changed quite a bit from the last time he had the reins at Milan. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what direction and what philosophy they're going to look to for Monza to stay up and Monza to develop. So it's going to be a curious story in Serie A next year.
Definitely. Congratulations to Roma. Some people will going to be discussing that after. But Steve, congratulations are still in order. They're getting a trophy home. It is some people considered the champions of Europe, but still congratulations are in order for me. It's not like I was rooting for Roma, but still nice for them to get some sort of trophy. And then thinking about Mourinho, people were writing about him saying, at every team that he goes, he wins some sort of silverware. But congratulations are in order, are they not?
Yeah, it's an Italian team that wins. Not like I had any skin in the game. It was an interest. I'm going to say it was an interesting game. I didn't know what to expect from the Conference League final. Again, I think that they're just playing too much football. I'm not a fan of the actual tournament, but to be the winner and to win in Europe is something that's good for what Roma wants to do with their new ownership, the Freakin Group, and what they're trying to do. For them, the key is the new stadium. I think that if they would be able to put shovel to the earth for a new stadium, which has been forever a project, if it still even is a project, that might change and do some good for Serie A. Same as Milan and whatever, Milan Inter together or Milan alone, but they need a stadium. There needs to be new infrastructure, and I think with the coming topics that we'll talk about later, I think this American revolution and the way we do things in North America might help Serie A.
Definitely. Another congratulations to our very own Carletto, four-time Champions League winner. And by the way, Liverpool, you do not win on shots taken. There was a lot of tears, a lot of Liverpool tears, but in the end, Steve, another masterclass from Carletto. Real Madrid might not have been the best team on the pitch, but just the way a lot of comparisons, 2005, 2007, where in 2005 we were the better team, but Liverpool won, and vice versa in 2007 they were the better team. But a great wow for Carletto, seriously. And what did it take? 2 shots on goal, 3 shots on goal?
I don't know. It doesn't matter at the end of the game.
That's
and
it.
That's what I was. I know I was outside with my son and his friends, and one of the friends told me, "How could Liverpool not beat Real Madrid?" I said, "Easy. Real Madrid scored 1 goal, and Liverpool scored no goals." He's like, "But they took a lot of shots on net." I said, "But that's why they play the game. It doesn't matter about the shots on net. It doesn't matter about who's the best team and who's the team that's more informed. In the end, Liverpool lost the league, then lost Champions League. For me, Liverpool needs to look at what that team wants to be, because it's a couple of times now, and I think Klopp is needs to look at himself in the mirror a bit. It's a couple of finals that he loses, and this one to a Real Madrid team that is not the strongest that we've ever seen, but you put everything together. They had an informed Benzema to pass the different rounds, and I think
it was
whether
a tough.
you're-
Dino said it was a tough road to the finals, man.
Yes.
Even what they managed to do against
I think
PSG.
PSG, Chelsea, and Man City, not an easy road to the final. That's for sure. But you put together Benzema, who whether you're a fan or not a fan, I think should get some sort of consideration for the Golden Ball, if not be the Golden Ball winner. Then Courtois, who's had his troubles, had the game of his life.
My God.
He stopped everything. He was fantastic. And again, according to Michael Owen, this was funny on Twitter, I saw, he said at the end of the game, but Liverpool is still the best team in the world. To which, if I'm not mistaken, and I remember the tweet correctly, Rio Ferdinand replied, "Well, they lost the league and they lost the Champions League. How could they be the best team in the world?" So again, a lot of tears, a lot of people need to look at themselves in the mirror, especially at Liverpool. With that kind of money, you need to be putting silverware, especially the Champions League, when you don't win the league, inside that cabinet. And for us, we smile again, because my other comment to my son's friend was, Real Madrid has 14 Champions Leagues. Guess who the team who has the second most Champions League? And he didn't know, and Gianfranco said Milan, because he's brainwashed.
Attaboy, Gianfranco. And I saw a tweet that the president of Atletico, there's like a plaque for Courtois there for some sort of like record, and they said, if you guys want to go rip it off with shovels and like it was just basically go vandalize. But here we're worried about Milanista saying Interista vaffanculo, right? So it's just all let's get a fine. Anyways, and another thing I wanted to ask you about, it's come out, with Ibra's after scudetto surgery, going to be 9 months. I don't know if you saw that video, the needle every single week. Dr. Derek, a fellow Milan club member, Patreon member, saying he was kind of not 100% sure about not playing with an ACL for 6 months. He's like, those doctors probably made a decision saying that he only trained 10 times. Steve, is this time first of all, what a beast, Ibra for doing what he did. To think the games that he played, that he came on, I know he wasn't running up and down, but to go through that
Well,
kind
he
of
couldn't
pain,
run. He was missing. He was
yeah,
missing half his knee.
it just freaks me out. Like, to no never doubt Ibra's commitment and what kind of a warrior is, but is this it? Do you see him? You know what? We'll give you a couple of mil come for the second half of the season. I don't know. Like, suppose from what we've read, it's what 8 to 9 months to recuperate from this kind of surgery. But how did you take all this news coming out, and how did you feel about it?
Look, there was obviously something wrong. He wasn't himself. I'm not a doctor. We usually refer back to Derek and ask what's going on. I was worried that it was more Achilles than knee, because Derek did say after the knee comes the Achilles. But look, you got to tip your hat to these guys. They get paid a shit ton of money, but he went through the pain. I don't think I would want to try that on a weekly basis, where you're getting a needle, which did not seem like a regular needle, jabbed into the side of your knee to drain that liquid that does not look like it's supposed to be there to play. So you can't doubt the love for the jersey. You can't doubt the love for soccer. But at a certain point, we always say this again. North America's famous for this. Everybody loses to father time. So,
Yeah.
Except Tom Brady, but everybody loses to Father Time, and I don't know. I'm okay with the year. What VJ said for the year at 2.5 million. Again, is there going to be a year? We got to remember that this next Campeonato is going to be a little bit distraught with the World Cup that they decided to do in the middle of everything. So I don't know how that's going to work out. If that's going to help or increase his chances of playing more games. But now Milan need to look to the future and need to look at what's after Ibra.
I would definitely take it if the rumors are true, like VJ was saying, 2.5 million. If it could come and help us during, off the bench in those last couple of months, well, why not? Scudetto comes, a couple of days, people are still celebrating, looking at these. Did you see those images from China, Steve? With there's Pioli's on fire, and then they had like a Ibra. And I just found, a couple of days after that, Maldini's interview to La Gazzetta. I spoke about it a bit yesterday, and I wanted to get your take. There was no wrong words used by Maldini, but I just found the timing of it was maybe not the best of timing. And I know that he probably had this on his chest for a while, but with the team supposedly being sold, that there's going to be a pre-signature this week. I could understand on the other side from Elliot, we're not going to do any kind of signings or spending kind of money. I could understand their side, Maldini, Massara, for the job that they've made. But what did you think of the timing, or even the words that he used, or what came out from that interview?
I don't see anything in it. I don't read into anything anymore. I think a new owner coming in would be absolutely stupid, let alone that Maldini is a legend for the club. But to see what they've done, the trio, Monquera, Massara, and Maldini, they would be stupid to blow that up, right? So the timing, again, who knows when that interview was recorded, or when they had to put it to press or put it on the site. There's a whole bunch of things and a whole bunch of timing. I don't read into it. It's only normal that if you're going to be selling a team, you're not going to want to make any other purchases. Elliot's not handing out bonbonniere to everybody who came to celebrate. And Redbird is an interesting player in this, and I'd like to see their mentality and how they take over Milan and run it going forward. Because in the Patreon chat and in the Milan Club Montreal chat, I think it was Gio who shared a cool video about the owner of Redbird talking at a summit. You guys, we have to stop falling in this trap. We can't listen to only what we want to listen to. We have to listen to everything. And that's what I wrote back in the chat. If you listen to the entire, it's pretty long. I have the ability to listen to it. It's about 20 minutes. and they're talking to two people. One is Redbird, Mr. Cardinal, and the other is someone who represents Gerard Pique's company. So apparently, I did not know this, but Pique has a humongous investment company where they invest in esports and tennis and so on and so forth, and they own a fifth division team. It was a great interview, and yes, Cardinal said they would never buy a huge club like Chelsea. It's also very I'm not saying it's old in terms of it's old in terms of the timing that we're at right now, and we can't take that into context. As he also says a whole bunch of other stuff that he would like to do with fan interaction and make the fan profitable as soon as they come into the gate. Also with infrastructure, the stadium builds, and so on and so forth. It's a great link.
You were mentioning to me, like, he was talking about the fan experience, and like, was talking about the so definitely it's on YouTube. And can we call him Cardinale? He's probably Italian with that name.
We'll change it to Cardinale.
Even I wanted to Brandon I saw this come up today, and Brandon put it on the chat. It's a very long article, but I wanted to read out a bit to you and see what you think about this. Jesus just called out the Super League. Steve, you'll love these comments. So Milan chief executive Ivan Gazidis says he fears for the future of football given the strength of the Premier League. The director told The Guardian, look, the real Super League is the Premier League, which has a global audience and is moving away from other European leagues. If we do nothing, that will be the future of football. I've lived in the bubble, and the Premier League has done a fantastic job, but the Super League proposal was viewed very differently in Italy than England. One of the main criticisms of that Super League was that the fact that it was sold as a closed competition, which would have prevented some of the more romantic stories in European football over recent seasons, which saw some of the so-called smaller clubs qualify for the Champions League. Gazidis added, Atalanta is a wonderful story. Leicester City is a fantastic story. Our tough choice at Milan was simply to be in a Super League or not to be in it. We had to make the responsible choice for the club. Milan was not driving this train. At Arsenal, I was vehemently opposed to the Super League and blocked it because the Premier League is completely ascendant. Pressure is being generated in Europe because they will not be able to compete with the Premier League. It's not enough to say a Super League is bad, so let's continue as we are. If we do, these tensions and pressures will only grow. We need to talk about it. The most important thing is to have a sustainable model for European football. It goes on, but I think you guys get the gist of it on this one. What do you think about what he's saying, Gazidis? Makes a lot of sense. And if you read the whole thing, it's very lengthy, but a lot of good points by Gazidis.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we said when the Super League came out. Super League is the North American model, and unfortunately, you're in Europe. The North American model no one understands the North American model. So if you don't have promotion relegation, it's not going to fly. The Premier League, it's easy for Gazidis to say that it's going to be it is the marketing league. It's the most marketed league. It's but you have to give them credit. They went out and they marketed their league to the proper audience. Serie A didn't do that. What's missing in that article, and which he's never going to do because he's still involved, is where's the criticism to the FIGC and the Serie A and what they're not doing for their league. Just look at the rights. We've complained about it in the entire year. Our friends in the Arab Emirates and in the Gulf, where I want to please pronounce it properly. Please correct me if I'm not pronouncing it properly. But they didn't know where they were going to watch Serie A up until the last day, and then it ended up in YouTube. We were in Canada scrambling, and with the hard work of course, Presidente reaching to his contacts, we were able to see that TLN had some games, but the rest of the games would be on Fubo, not on DAZN anymore. Well, okay, no one even knew what Fubo was before Serie A went to Fubo.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, again, I say it the way it is. I'm sorry to everybody in Fubo, but you need to know that your app was absolutely shit this year.
It was,
and and I'm not going to shy away from it. And I know you did your best, but unfortunately, you were not prepared for it. And when we get apps like Fubo here in Canada, what we're missing is halftime and post-game content. We have absolutely nothing. In the States, Serie A did, from what I hear and what I see, with Paramount Plus,
yeah.
hit a semi-home run. And that's great. But that's, again, Serie A having tunnel vision, thinking only about people in America. And I get the population of America is very, very large and much, much more than Canadians. But again, we're limiting ourselves, and Serie A is not looking at the big picture.
And no, to the guys, we do not get Paramount Plus
we do not
in
get
Canada.
Paramount Plus in Canada. So we had to have it on Fubo. So hats off to the American people who were able to see it on Paramount Plus. But here in Canada, we can say that legally we had a very, very tough year when it comes to our content.
They're talking, Jamie's saying UK and Ireland. Guys, I'm not shy to say it. We pay for Fubo TV. The last 7 or 8 games, I took it out on my Android TV and I was finding on BT Sports. So I was trying to find it on DZN Italia. I'm sorry. I would be straight watching from Fubo, but, at one point, the feed goes out and then they give you UFC. And I never had that problem with the AZN. No. And now you're getting, and now, like Giuseppe Teresi, the guy's an older man, but this year he got himself Fubo. Now you're going to get these people that are going to get these sticks and get the application, because now, you're going to get more traction. And, who would have thought, people of 65, 70 years old and over getting these applications and watching. But, it's kind of sad that my dad just likes watching Serie A. But, some derbies, what do you mean it's not on TV? Sorry, but it's not on TV. And even at that, right, it's just sad. And hopefully, I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to be the exact same thing this year. That we do have July 16th is the first ever. Thank you, Yusuf, from Pay, first ever our preseason game. But Steve, we're going to get the Nations League games. We're going to get the same thing. I think we're going to find out 2 days before. And
that's but you know what? That's on Serie A though. So as much as I criticize Fubo TV, if Serie A is deciding where their rights are going to go for specific countries with 4 days left into the Campionato, what can we expect from Fubo to do?
Yeah. beIN Sports available. It is available, Gonardi, but beIN Sports, you have to pay, I think, I work for a company, it's $15 a month. And you can watch, I believe right now they have the La Liga in there and the Liga, if I'm not mistaken. So, somebody that wants to watch all this football, calcio, soccer costs a lot of money. And in the end, that's why people, go through these different alternatives. But we shall see what's going to go on in the near future. I wanted to go just a couple of things on Patreon. And by the way, Sonny, thank you for that beautiful graphic. He's saying, I was trying my best not to make it look like the Liverpool bird. Gio say, keep up the great work, guys. Questions for y'all. I love it. How players do we need to compete for Scudetto again and to beat the Zebras? Happy Memorial Day to all us USA Milanistas. Everyone watching the video, like, subscribe. What a cheerleader, Gio. But, to compete, yes, because it's going to be, and before we know it, Steve, the next season is going to start. I know we talked about right wing. I know we spoke about, center defender. But to keep on competing, because we have said it, Juventus ain't gonna take another, trophyless season. They're gonna come at their Inter, guys. Inter is still Inter, but how many players? You still 3?
It's a different ball game now. So we did the unthinkable and won the Scudetto. Now it's on Milan to first resolve this ownership stuff, so that I don't want this ownership stuff to be an excuse that we're not doing anything in the Mercato, because obviously we need a right wing. And if they keep the right wing, I don't know if they're going to keep 1 or 2 of the right wings that we currently have, but one would be the depth for that right wing. As we've said so long, we didn't have that. We need someone to address the center attacking midfield role. I know we have Il Pittatore coming from Bordeaux, But again, this is someone who's coming in new. We're going to need to see what happens with Diaz. We're going to need to think about the future at the striker position. Not only now, for now, we need to think about the future as well. So that's another two. I think that realistically, this Mercato, 3 quality signings would keep us pretty much up there with everybody, but they'd have to be quality signings. And then the rest of the signings, maybe 1 or 2 smaller depth signings to help us in Champions League.
And Jamie saying risk Dybala for number 10 position. Would you, Steve?
Not at 10 million. They're not. No one's splashing 10 million on Dybala.
David says, good evening, boys. Keep up the great work. Question for you guys. After the obvious right wing situation with desperate need, which position would you focus after that? And which player do you see joining our beloved Milan realistically? And why would you choose that player? So, he's going the way he worded it, but I like this one here. Like, Bremer or Botman?
I've never really seen Botman play. I'm really a fan of Bremer.
He's done some good stuff, and he knows the Serie A.
He has Serie A stuff in there. So,
then he goes Deulofeu or Berardi.
Berardi. I don't want Deulofeu back.
Would you not even take Deulofeu as?
No.
Okay. There's new names: Sanchez, Veretout, Noah Lang. This name has come out a couple of times now on the. But again, I think it's in the Belgium league. There's another Belgian player. And we're not going to sit here and go, well, look at this compilation video. Look how great he is.
No, I'm not going to do that anymore. And again, I trust in the scouting team now enough to, and they're hit 100% of the time. It's obvious. But when you hit on players like Kalulu, Tomori, at bargain deals like that, and you're looking at someone like Noah Lang who commands a little bit of a hefty price tag. Let's see, Origi, for free from Liverpool. That's something that's interesting. I'd like to see what he does.
Yeah.
But again, he's as much as people want to tell me and sell me Origi from Liverpool, Klopp says he's a world-class talent. Well, if he's a world-class talent, Klopp, why didn't you play him?
And then you come to Serie A. So if one of the greats like Cristiano Ronaldo took him a year to adapt, it made me laugh because on this weekend I went to see our friends, guys, any Milan club, not Milan club members only, any Milanistes. This was his word for Dairy Queen on P9. Our friend Dominic and Joey just mentioned Milan Club Montreal. You'll get 10% off on any of those cakes, and those cakes are fantastic. But I was talking to him. He's like, okay, Vinny, may need more champions. I want us back on top. Origi's coming. And I said to him, I go, where is he coming? No, it's done deal. I go, where do you read this stuff? He's like, isn't he? Is he? I go, guys, I told him, I go, Dom, I go, we had a picture of Biani with a Milan jersey, and he still didn't sign. I go, Steve always says, he goes, until I see him sitting down with Maldini with the signature, I ain't believing anything. And then I got into this conversation to him. I go, you have to remember one thing. This new way of doing business is not to go out and buy all these champions, especially the way Milan is going. Like, they go find these diamonds in the rough. But yes, a shout out, thank you to those guys. Remember, guys, anybody in Montreal, even you, Francis, you can go and say, you just have to utter the words Milan Club Montreal discount. They'll give you 10% off on anything in the store. But until we see anything, Steve, right? We don't believe anything.
Nope.
Because that's what we're in the age of clickbait. But we'll see, guys. We'll definitely see what's going on. We didn't get anything even on Patreon. Patreon only had 2 guys. I think some people are still celebrating. Shout out to Fabio that has been waving his Italy flag, I think, for the last week. I think throughout the whole podcast yesterday, throughout the group therapy, was just waving that flag. Orlando said, will Maldini stay on with Milan? Yes, definitely.
Maldini stays.
Yeah, definitely.
So does Massara, and so does Moncada. I think they all stay.
Yes, Frank, I know what the case was. I was trying to make a point that I don't believe anything until I see the guy with the signature. Do you have any, before we could take it to the busted tweets, this is going to be a nice short one, guys. You know what, Steve, he's been bathing in the sun all day. It's been a long day. You have any indigestions for this week? If you want to think about one, I'm going to go with those. What happened at the Champions League final with the Liverpool fans outside, the arrested, this is just, I think if it's I don't find there was enough coverage. I know you don't want to show that. I know. But if you keep on trying to like, oh, well, there was this, and then like the reports are coming out after, why is the game delayed for an hour? It's never going to stop. Yes, Italy is we're far from getting away from these type of problems, but it's kind of sad. No, Steve, on a Champions League final to see, I don't know, get arrested. Some people got hurt. It's the same thing from England and Italy in the Euros. The Italian fans getting beat up as they were coming out of the stadium. Guys, it's a game. It's a game. Just the way we'll go at it with Francis, but in the end of the game, we'll hug and kiss each other. I don't know about kissing, but it just, let's. It's sad. It's a really sad state of affairs.
Yeah, and I agree. That's something that slipped my mind. I find that I was looking at Twitter, waiting for the game to start, and I agreed with a lot of the posts that I saw, where this delay took away from the game. It's delayed it. People who were already in the stadium really didn't know what was going on, and they were again finding out as they were being delayed more and more. But the other thing too, I saw some tweets and some videos of people who actually had tickets to the final not being able to get in because they were kind of like bulked into these into the rest of the people that were causing the trouble. So look, again, there's no place for that, but this final was supposed to be in Russia, and it got moved to Paris. And I don't know if the same thing would have happened in Russia, but again, maybe Paris were not prepared for this because they had to prepare last minute. I'm not even 100% sure. I don't want to make excuses. I double your indigestion.
Yes, Jamie. You know what? I love. I saw the clip, and they're going at it, and people are just chanting. And then she took it all back. She tweeted, "I can't believe the disrespect. I don't know this girl. I don't listen to music, but you're going to a Champions League final. What they're going to pay attention to you? That's like when they had Gangnam Style there during the Coppa Italia against Lazio in Rome. My goodness. Did he get booed? Man. Did you have any? Do you share my indigestion? Do you have one of your own?
No, I'm gonna go with your indigestion because I don't have. I took a semi social media break this after the scudetto win. I just wanted to clear my head, so I was just wanted to watch the Conference League game a bit and the Champions League game, and then besides that, I don't really have much. My actual brioche of the week, feel good moment is seeing Carletto win another Champions League, because I think for me he is my favorite coach. I just like the way he's a player's coach. It seems like everybody who plays for him loves him. There's not too many that have something negative to say, but when they do, it's not really even that negative, and he just keeps on winning.
I'm gonna go with we've been seeing all these videos from the celebrations, and there's one that I'm gonna have to give it to Brahim. Teo's going into Rista Vaffanculo, and you see him, he's all surprised. And as the other chant starts, and when it's like E chi non salta and Gobbo Juventino, he realizes, he gets up out on the bus, he starts jumping out. He goes, just make sure, I'm jumping up and down. So it was just to see his face from, are you singing Trista Vaffanculo? To then to chi non salta Gobbo Juventino, he's just jumping up and down. But those videos are there's one guy that I put on the chat, he just did a whole Bakayoko. He's celebrating he contributed to the Scudetto, but just to see everybody's faces, it was great. It was great to see. Only the Bayern players didn't like Ancelotti, and I'm sure he's gonna pop up in these busted tweets. Steve, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let me get rid of this here. Here we go. So, what did Jan do for us this week? So, to Fazal. Our flops will always succeed in farmers' leagues. Enjoy your shit league where no one wants to play. Lukaku won it last year. Giroud won it this year. Italian league is finished. Get harvesting. So, Fadal, not only second year in a row with the most goals scored in all the top 5 competitions in Serie A, but these are what kind of tiers, Steve? These are EPL tiers.
These are EPL tiers. English, boring. Your food sucks a horrible ass. For the 100 of years that you guys exist on, and thousands of years you guys exist,
we might have English
and
fans,
you eat crap potatoes. And no, but the English people that listen to Milan Weekly Podcast know that their food sucks. And for their own sanity, have some sort of relative that has another cuisine to feed them, because their food is absolutely terrible. The only thing they have to hold on to is this EPL, and that their league is the best and this and that. Your league is the best. You've pumped so much money and made so much money that I cannot disagree that your league is the best. But your national team sucks of ass. And remember, the people that play in the Farmers League beat you in Wembley. So cry, Fasisal Adam, whatever your hell your name is, cry, because the Wembley tears were the best tears.
Definitely. Gio, I know there'll only be one busted tweet, but Yanni, he's got to work, man. He can't just put up one busted tweet. He's got to give us some entertainment. Number 2, Inter and Roma carrying Serie A in Europe. So, Mezzo Filippo, how does Inter carrying Serie A in Europe exactly, Steve? If you like to elaborate, or maybe hashtag Dybala Inter can explain to us how they're carrying Serie A in Europe. By the way, somebody tweeted out, and it wasn't like just a Joe Schmo saying the only team that was able to play really head-to-head other than the finals against Liverpool in the Champions League was Milan in that first half. The only team to score against Liverpool in the Champions League was in that time there. But yes, please elaborate. Anybody can help us?
I have no idea. I don't really agree with Milan being able to play against Liverpool. We were completely outclassed. It's because Mo Salah misses that penalty shot. The rest, we never get back into that game. And we had 3 minutes of euphoria in that game.
Still scored.
It's fine, but that doesn't justify. We were not good in the Champions League, and I would never ever tweet out something like this if I was an Inter fan, and if Milan was my team that got eliminated in whatever round they got eliminated in. It's right now, no one's carrying no one. Italy and Serie A need to do a lot better in Europe. Roma does come out of Europe with a trophy, but it's a new trophy that got invented. It's not something prestigious like the Champions League. And for me, I like to refer it as the UEFA Cup, but they're going to call it Europa League. Besides those two, if you're not winning any of those two, you're not carrying anybody in Europe.
Number 3. Now, I just wanted to take a note that the Facebook friend let me know that he does not have Twitter, but he actually found out about Lupo by Googling him. So Lupo is he's a famous person. From the bottom of my heart to everyone who bashes Roma in this account, go fuck yourself. Roma are European champions. And then he put a picture. He put a picture of them putting the name on best Italian team in Europe. I'm all for celebrate your team, because let's be honest, guys, if we were in the banter era and we would have won this trophy, we would have celebrated. I would have not called us
the best team in Europe,
European champions. Now, Steve,
This is interaction hunting. Is interaction hunting. If he knows anything about soccer, he would have known that the Champions League final was being played after the Conference League final. And, Lupo, the winner of the Champions League is the person who gets European champion of the world, right? If you haven't figured that out while playing FIFA 2020, 22, or whatever year FIFA you can play, for sure you're playing one of the years that Roma was the best team, because you haven't been playing lately. Unfortunately, things like this, Vinny, they're busted, but they're interaction hunting. It cannot be someone like this does not understand what he's watching. And if it is, by all means, again, poor him and the people that follow him.
Number 4. Can't understand how he can win the Champions League with Real Madrid, but couldn't even get Napoli a spot in the Champions League. Well, at the Doma Puzzo, there's a different quality of players in Napoli.
And there's also a different budget, if you haven't checked.
A slight little budget that changed. But so he doesn't understand how Carletto can win a Champions League, but hey, can't even get Napoli in the Champions League. Oh, man.
So I don't know, Dom, you need to check up who is Real Madrid's owner compared to ADL.
Yeah, because
And you
ADL.
have to see the difference between the two and their mindset and their budget. Like, it's not all ADL's fault. He's limited into what he wants to pump into the team. They've had their chance, but Real Madrid were ready to splash the cash on Mbappe, and Mbappe decided to go for the money.
How long did he stay, Carletto, Napoli? Just 1 year, no?
Yeah, it wasn't very long, and Napoli, they had just a lot of weaknesses, a lot of holes that he could not find a solution to. But at a Real Madrid team, when you have, when you're able to sit players like Hazard and Bale, who, yes, are past their prime, but are still an option, and then still buy young players like the young French international. I don't remember his name. I'm gonna destroy it if I say it, but everybody knows. Yeah, everybody knows who the young French international is. And players like Marcelo on the bench for experience and who have won many Champions Leagues. Dom, it's a different ball game bringing Napoli to a Champions League spot, and Real Madrid winning the whole entire thing.
And thanks to Carletto for not letting Liverpool reach us at 7 Champions League.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jamie Camavinga.
Yeah, good job.
Number 5, and I think it's the last one. I think this is the one we've been waiting for. Ancelotti is basically a lucky Allegri. Now, fino alla fine 282. Please elaborate how Ancelotti is a lucky Allegri. Now, how many Champions League does Allegri have, Steve?
0.
Okay. How about trophies? How about does he quadruple trophies of Ancelotti's trophies? I'm just trying to understand.
Well, he collected some scudetto when he took over for Conte, right? So
Ancelotti is basically a lucky Allegri. I would just to.
This is unfortunately someone who, again, I don't know him personally, and you can take this as an insult if you want or not. Absolutely understands nothing about soccer.
I don't think you're being far-fetched on them.
They're just, and again, is this something that he's tweeting out just to get some likes and comments? Then I don't know. But again, as everybody in the chat is saying, you are the winner of Busted Calcio tweets, AJ, with something like this, because you need to see Ancelotti's, all the work he's put in. Wasn't the greatest adventure at Juventus after coming over from Parma and making some miracles at Parma. Then after Juventus, it was the unpopular move to Milan, where people were not on board with something like that, but again had that Milan tie. And he's someone who created a player like Pirlo out of nothing. Pirlo came from Inter and had no position. No one knew where to play him. He invented something for the maestro.
I get what he's saying here, Trigay. Like, Carletto's a great in Europe, but he struggles in domestic leagues. Milan, great teams under Ancelotti, only one Scudetto. Yeah, Trigay, but did you see the rest of the teams that Serie A had at that time when Carletto was at look at the Inters, look at the Juventus. I get where he's coming from, but in the end, if you're able to win first ever to win a title in all 5 leagues, first ever coach to win 4 Champions League trophies, guys, that says a lot. But in the end, he is a lucky Allegri, as AJ would like to tell us.
But he's completely that, like Allegri bust up with Bonucci, bust up with Dybala, bust up with whoever else it is. You don't really hear too much about that. Like we had the Bayern players didn't like Ancelotti, cool, whatever. But you don't hear that a lot, But someone like Ancelotti is a player's coach, and with the type of people the type of players and people that we're creating in society, you need a player's coach, and that has to count for something.
Exactly. So AJ, I'm not even going back to the other tweets. You're definitely the winner of Busted Calcio tweet
And
this
take
week.
out your mask because COVID's over.
On that note, guys, just to let you know, because you're all subscribed, obviously, and notification, we will let you know. Probably gonna go on, every couple of weeks or so, unless like some, we sign somebody big or some big news. Group therapy sessions are gonna go on, the different kind of shows, but we will let you guys know ahead of time if we're going to do a podcast. Would it be through Patreon, through Twitter? But it is summertime. Stevie P with the pool. Maybe I'll come and see you soon when it's nice and hot. But I'm working the long hours as well, but it is therapeutic to see you guys. And we did it like last year. Last year we we're coming on like every couple of weeks. Gio, thanks for reminding us. What a cheerleader, Gio. And no matter, shout out to him because this guy's in California. Whether we have a group therapy session at 9 a.m., it's those games. He's there. He's awake. Let's go. And always guys, everybody from Patreon, we definitely appreciate all the support, and we will see each other soon. Steve, any parting words for our legion, or you know what, we're gonna do like the WWE, the Milan Weekly Podcast universe. That's what we're gonna call our fans.
Guys, I want to thank you. You know how important it is to us to create content for you guys, but we want to create quality content. We don't want to come here every week and just repeat the regular stuff that you're seeing on social media. So we're going to take a couple of breaks. We're going to be sporadic. So now it's very important. Everybody listening, everybody that we have on the social media in terms of Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, please guys, like, subscribe, turn on the notification so that when we do go live, you are made aware that we will be going live at a specific time. That's going to help you guys out. Especially in the summer months, like we saw there, Brandon hit the hammer on the nail. If something like ownership changes, you'll bet that we'll be on Monday for sure. Yeah. And we'll keep everybody entertained with the therapy sessions. Who knows? We'll talk with the agents of Gio and Fabio to see if they want to use our channel for their coast to coast. Maybe that's going to be something that we're going to include for
maybe
you guys.
Coast to Coast could become, we're breaking this. Maybe Coast to Coast is going to become one of the shows on Milan Weekly Podcast. But now we need to negotiate. Maybe they don't want to come a parametra zero. Yeah. Maybe they want to do like a con obbligo di riscatto. We'll see. We'll go from there. But if you do, Fabio, you need to keep the swearing a bit more onto the down low, unless we give the not suitable for young children disclaimer. Guys, again, keep on celebrating. But as the news comes, we will be talking to you guys soon. And we are Campione d'Italia. All the tears all around there. I saw a Facebook post, Steve, that was an Interista in Italy. He says, you know what, me, I'm still taking on my Inter flag on the balcony because in the end we won the scudetto. It's because of all the bureaucracy and the referees that took away our scudetto. So me, even if it shows Milan, we're the scudetto champions, number 20. And he was there with his flag.
Well, Inter's famous for taking scudettos at Tavolino.
Oh man! And again, with that other article is that guy from 2006 saying that was a bad decision to give it to Inter. In the end, what would it be Inter? Let's just leave it in the past, guys. Let's bring up all this shit from the past. But anyways, new beginnings, as Sunny put it on. The future looks bright. Let's see what the next week of news comes up.
Vacation time.
Ovunque e sempre, guys.
Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.
Non ti lasceremo mai.